Star Trek, gifts, and you. Plus, an unboxing. Yes, today on, hey, Trekland Tuesdays Live. With me, Dr. Trek, Larry Nemecek, coming at you right here with Plushy McCoy on a special day, right from the heart of Trekland through Portal 47 for the big picture, clarity and sanity in all things Star Trek. Plushy, you know what? It is a Trekland third Tuesdays Live. Yep, it's the third Tuesday of the month. I've got a special offer out of Trekland for us today. We do that every month, and what we don't do every month is, well, look, it's the one time of year when you can wear red and not to be concerned about the future of your own life, right? So happy holidays, everybody. I wanted Plushy McCoy to join me today because, well, that's the topic. I'm pointing up here like it's Life Support Live. No, Star Trek Gifts and You is our topic today. If you were on my news list and you grabbed my late night Friday email, right, Plushy? That's right. Pretty stupid damn thing to do if you ask me. I know, but the clock was ticking on mail times for Christmas. But within that email was a fun one of our little snap surveys. So if you answered it, yay. If you didn't, just hang tight. I'm going to talk about that and something I rarely talk about today. But look, if you are new and you're finding us here, welcome to Trekland Tuesdays Live. I'm here every Tuesday, have been since 2017 before it was popular. Talking about a Star Trek topic of the day. Hopefully not the same-o you're seeing 47 different times across the interwebs. I love my YouTube brethren. Well, most of them are brethren and sistren. But I always try to bring you something a little bit different, a little bit the Trekland way, the Dr. Trek way, something that maybe you hadn't, dots you hadn't connected. Right, Plushy? I know. Can you put me down now? I'm getting a little tired there. Your hands. I know. Okay, well, we'll let Plushy rest a little bit here. Well, look, again, I did a survey last week in my email, first email I'd done in a while, about how you are looking at Star Trek in your gift giving this year, coming and going. Because it's a fun time of year. And a lot of you that have been with me through many Tuesdays over the weeks, over the years, know that, this is episode 237, guys. Wow. But a lot of you that have followed me, I don't talk about the toys and the licensing much. We do books off authors, books, obviously. But toys and things, that's in a Star Trek adjacent. We talk about the making of the shows here and the people and the business behind it a lot. And, of course, the guts of the shows themselves. I try not to do what everybody else is doing in the moment, but, again, bring you something new and fresh. But I thought it was apropos today because it's the time of year when we're thinking about gifts, and, yeah, gifts turn to toys a lot. Plushy, for those of you that don't know, Plushy was a prototype. Back when we first entered the fallow days and no one knew what the hell was going on with Star Trek in 05 and 06. And this was a prototype. Well, the IFT, the Federation group of Star Trek fan clubs, thought they might get into licensed products and didn't know the reception if Star Trek and CBS were so desperate for staying alive that they might do something like that, which would be a little unprecedented. Not totally, because the official fan club was the official licensee for a lot of things for years. But that might have been a shift. But it was, when you have uproots and disconnects like that, when the paradigm's torn up, things change, things shifts. It didn't happen, but they sent me the prototype McCoy. And he's had a good home ever since 2006, right here with me. But it does bring up the topic of toys and gift giving. So here's my question in the email. Was very simple. Had 3 answers. How many of you are on my e-list and got it? How many of you are on my e-list and didn't even realize it had come in? Much less answered it. Well, here's what it was. I basically said, what's the deal with you and Star Trek and your gifts coming or going this year? And the options were, I had, I've made very simple ones. I didn't break this down in a lot of ways. I kept it simple. I'm asking for or giving a Trek gift, or I'm not asking for or giving a Trek gift, which in this audience you'd think would be pretty minority, but things happen. And then I did have one for fun where I don't have to ask or be asked. Like, people know. I don't have to specify. Well, this was just a real fun one. I didn't have a lot of answers back. I don't know. We've got like a 0.5% of my mail list in here. There's really 2 yeses in those answers, right? So the ones that said, I am asking for or giving a Trek gift, which I guess we won't know the final chapter on this until after the holidays, right? But 46.7% said that they were asking or giving Trek in their gifts. Then we had people that said they're not asking for Trek or giving any Trek presents. 33 and a third. So a third of the folks who took a moment to answer on Friday night, Saturday morning, or maybe since, said they weren't involving Trek in their gift giving coming or going. But then by the time we had this third one, I don't have to ask or be asked. Trek was just part of the equation. Why are you even asking me this question? That was 20%. So a fifth of the folks said that. When you add that to the yes, it really comes out 2/3. It's really a very clean 2-to-1. Again, the universe of people who are on my list and then who actually got the email and answered it, of that universe, it's 2-to-1. That Trek is part of the gift giving. Now, there's been a steady stream. I was kidding about shirts and robes and socks, funny hats. There's books, right? There's sound. You can get people all kinds of things. You can even also get, don't forget, our 6-month Portal in a Box offer, which is still good. The mailing deadline for Christmas passed, but this is going to be up through the holidays, everybody. Just so you know, there's all kinds of ways to give Star Trek as a gift, and it's out there. So it's kind of interesting that a third of fandom said no, not good. Maybe it's thought of as an expense. There's a lot of really inexpensive ways to hell. You can go to TeePublic and get all mine, and otherwise you can get, online stores have all kinds of discounty ways to get, sales and discounts to get items like that. Of course, it's a mail thing then if you're worrying about Christmas by then. Heaven forbid I tell you this on the Tuesday before Saturday Christmas. But that's a thing. Now, I've seen in recent days some of the online sites and boards and columns. I saw one, I wish I'd saved it now. One dad, I think, made his young one a homemade plushie Murf from Prodigy. And he's like, well, I can't buy anything, but I made my kid this, and I think they're going to love it. And it was adorable. And yeah, it had the homemade touch. It had the Etsy touch, and it's going to look great. And there's all kinds of that material out there. But that brings up kind of a point. All of our newest shows, our newest series, including the 2 animateds, including especially Prodigy for the kids, there's not exactly anything out there to buy. This dad has made himself a Murf, a homemade Murf, or an HMM as we call it in the trade. Yeah, and somebody might say, well, who's the brilliant idiot that's in charge of that? Well, it's hard to sell something. It's hard to make and sell and make decisions on something that people haven't even seen yet, much less reacted to. I mean, that's the dilemma. It normally takes 12 to 18 months for plushies, for action figures, for anything that involves pattern making and dyes and forms, anything like that to come to fruition. And if you're saying, oh, here's another case of, CBS or Paramount Plus being inept on the license side, where are the toys? Where are the toys? It's just the calendar and human nature, gang. I mean, I was curious about this, and I did go back and look. And the granddaddy of all sci-fi licensing, and no, I don't mean the Mego toys, the Mego action figures, but we should make that. My McCoy's right up there. Here, watch this. I should have thought of this, right? He needs a little dusting. But there he is, right there, with his Circus World sticker still on, and the dust. There's Mego McCoy. Yay! That's the 70s, kids. That's the 70s picture. Yeah. But aside from the Mego Star Treks and the AMT Enterprise model kit, the granddaddy of licensing is considered to be Star Wars. And look here's Star Wars coming out of the gate, out of nowhere. No one thought it would be the phenomenon that it was, to coin a really easy phrase. in May and in June. And for Christmas that year, people are scrambling for stuff. But nope, nobody has. Well, even if they wanted to, it was going to be a year before you had real product, and that was a concern. But the head of, nobody really perked up. Sci-fi licensing, I know, wasn't a thing. All the nerds were still in the closet. The generation hadn't grown up. We all weren't being born with iPhones in our hands and our eyeballs permanently attached to digital interfaces. And we still thought of view screens as a thing on Star Trek, not plasma TVs. But one person at Kenner thought that this might be something. And they went ahead and got the rights a month before the movie Star Wars released in 1977. And then, of course, within 2 months, it was obvious, oh my God, they've got a gold mine. But they didn't have a way to change time. They could not alter the forces of time and space to create more time to get a whole toy line out. And they did this revolutionary thing that the toy industry thought was a killer, was they sent out empty boxes with certificates inside that you could redeem with a deal for when the things were, you'd be among the first to get it. And against all expectation, because they weren't used to things creating new paradigms yet, people sent those in. And it was a huge hit. And even though, no, of course it didn't sell as much as if they'd had actual products in the boxes, there was no way to change that. It wasn't anyone's fault. There was no way to change that, but they made a little bit of lemon out of the lemonade situation and sold a ton of those anyway. And then those folks have the first collectibles, and then we're off to the races and running. And by the time of Empire Strikes Back, don't worry, it's all there. But that first wave of Kenner toys that came out Christmas of 1978 and before, then you started to feed the monster. But, even the high and mighty Star Wars couldn't tell time, couldn't foresee events and know exactly what was going to be popular, much less the whole franchise. Now, you would say, oh, come on, it's a new Star Trek. Surely somebody must have been there. And they're working on it. But you got to remember, they're working on the series right up until the last. And it's animated. And how's it going to go down? How's it going to be received? I mean, my favorite story is the first Toy Story from Disney, Pixar and Disney. And nobody realized that, of course, there's Woody and Buzz Lightyear and all the other, and a lot of the other toys. No one realized that the underside, the dark, sarcastic side of anime fandom and animation fandom and just, millennials and boomers in general, were going to be obsessed with the dark toys, right? With the misfit toys. And no, I don't mean Rudolph's. I mean the ones from Toy Story. There was this huge demand of everybody wanted the broken toys that had been jammed back together by the Wacko Kid. And they were, they're knocking their heads. Oh, well, and by the next Christmas, the buzz had gone, no pun intended, on those. And they weren't near as big a seller as they would have been out of the gate. So sometimes you miss. I just remember that was a cautionary tale about how sometimes the best thing you have, your best asset is right there in front of you and you overlook it. Anyway, everybody keep bopping in the chat. I will get to it. I will. I don't know if we're going to have a Twitch raid today or not, but we'll see. I don't know what Noah's Twitch audience his Twitchers are up to today, but yeah, the whole idea here of toys and giving, we can keep talking about it here. Is there Trek in your gift plans coming or going this holiday season? Whatever it is you're celebrating. We've got Kwanzaa here on the schedule too. Hanukkah's done with. But generally, people, whatever you do or believe, kind of check out in December anyway and kind of linger into the new year. And I tell you, yeah, interesting times. We've got such a wacko time right now anyway with I know we've talked about it for nearly 2 years now, but the impact of COVID now with the Omicron, it sounds like something right out of Star Trek. I swear to God, you guys remember, Omicron Delta is the region where the shore leave planet is, and that makes your wishes come true. And that's not exactly what's been going on with Delta and Omicron the last year or two, but there it is. I don't know, what is Star Trek part of your gift giving plan? Is it on your own list? Are you wishing someone would jump up and and get you poor little box too. Maybe you haven't let your hints drop loudly enough. Anyway, it's that time of year, it's that time of season. But oddly enough, unlike the Berman years, we've got new Star Trek rolling out every week. Discovery is rolling out, and before I go any further, well, let's talk about that for a second. A lot of discussion about the stars last week on last week's Discovery. I've seen online. Of course, I'm tuned into that a little bit, but we actually saw the DMA. I always want to say the AMD, the DMA, not as opposed to the DGA. The DMA, the dark matter anomaly, actually saw it leaping, phasing out and leaping back, and a really good tilt of our star table, through Mike Okuda, through especially Jeff Mandel, and then I've taken on the mantle of keeping it going here the last couple of editions. Watching where the DMA is placed, and it was great. It went about three or tilted on its side. A lot of people have picked up on the fact that Vulcan's been renamed Navarre for the purposes here, but they're very definitely the close-in sectors. Seeing it pop around and cause havoc, if it's really 5 light years wide, that's kind of amazing. But the dialogue saying that it leaped 1,000 light years, well, it's really closer to 100. It may even just be as few as 2, because the sector is 20 light years wide, and it's only hopping 2 or 3 sectors. I'm choosing to headcanon this, as I know this is an unscheduled subject matter. Toys, Discovery astrography. But my headcanon is, I was talking to people online, we were tweeting in it a couple of times. My headcanon is that by the time Stamets reports on this 1,000 light year leap, that he's talking about another leap after the ones we saw on camera. That's what, either that or we have a transmission glitch, and the transmission decoded as 1,000 when it really should have been 100. And 100's kind of pushing it. It was really more like 60 or 80. It was 3 to 4 sectors away at most. But other than that, it was wonderful to visually and I know what happened. It's a long way from the scripter writing 1,000 to the star field, and then to the way visual effects portrays it. And the science advisors are in there. Dr. Aaron is in there trying to ride herd on it, and maybe not seeing the very tail end of what visual effects is. It's happened before. But again, I have a headcanon fix. We're there already. It's what we do. We move on. But it's really been an interesting turn this year. Now, what will happen in the parrots? We'll see after the break what happens with the parrot analytics this week. Yes. Discovery is pumping right along. There is no holiday break. We're getting Star Trek straight through. And then Prodigy will come back from its little hiatus. It's let's let Big Brother Discovery have a moment in the sunshine to itself. They're coming back the first week in January, the first Thursday. And we'll have double episodes from then for maybe a good while. And until those next 5 are done, we'll see where they wind up. And hopefully Picard right after that takes up the mantle. We're getting new Star Trek right through the holidays. And of course, if you've got any of your legacy shows, or if you've got Paramount Plus or whatever streaming channel still carries them, you got old Star Trek as well. It's an incredible Christmas time. We're all still jumping through the hoops of COVID and trying to make things work. If you want to jump through the hoops of COVID too, and this is our third Tuesday special, jump on over to LarryNemecek.com/Holly21. Or really, if you just go to LarryNemecek.com, there's a link up front. Go over and get the guest. It just won't deliver by Christmas, obviously. If you really want something, let me know, and we'll send you a digital card that you can slip into an envelope and give somebody physically there, knowing the rest is coming. It's the gift that keeps on giving. All righty. Thanks, everybody on the list and otherwise who jumped on the question this month, our little survey question. Obviously, they're 2-1. 2-1 folks are involving Star Trek when they can find it, even if there's not new Prodigy toys. Some folks are doing their homemade best, but there's so much out there. There's the books, there's magazines, there's subscriptions. All kinds of unique packages you can get for people. Tickets to future events. Yeah, we'll talk about all that on some future Tuesdays live here. As we leap, we have one more. I'm not taking a week off, so we've got one more here in 2021, the year that we thought would change everything and turn into one giant kind of molasses field for running through. But we've actually got something cool to unbox. Let's do it now. It's not very festive. And yes, I cheated because I wasn't quite sure which one this was. So we're going to have a very quick unboxing. Rip. No, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. This series has really taken off. Look at this. Whoa. Now, it's a Star Trek The Next Generation bloopers of the Borg. If you've been around Trek fandom for 10 years, 20 years, 50 years, what could be more Star Trek-ish than a marriage of the Borg and bloopers? This is not a book full of major characters running into unopened doors. Or extras taking off makeup. This is another nerd search. This is from Hero Collector. Okay. This is from the Eagle Moss folks. It's these great, it's another Glenn Dakin book who's done so many works here with the art by John Ross and colors by Adam Chaddock and Ben Robinson Consulting. But this is a complete little game book. There's a scorecard here. If you love those hidden picture puzzles and highlights, if you love the what's wrong with this picture puzzle, those kind of things, it's more of these, but it's Borg themed highlight episodes where you pick out what's wrong. There's a whole coding system. There's a whole score system. They're crazy artwork. They're fun. Look, they're fun little gift books. It's a Treksperts Search and Find series book. The mistakes must go, make it so. I mean, they had way too much fun with this. The answers are in the back. There's really complete answers too. But look, there are 8 of these, doubled paneled. There's a lot of background in here too. We have engaged the Borg. Now, the big goodbye doesn't include the Borg, but it's here. It's Borg and bloopers. So it's Borg episodes with some other, there's redemption, unification. I shouldn't say it's all Borg. And then at the end, you've got full-blown answers. But look at this. This is not just a puzzle book that you work and throw it away. There's tons of trivia in the answer grid. I mean, the more I looked at this, I was like, well, this is a cute book. Then I went, you know what? A lot of folks can learn a lot about, I mean, these are like revamped companion notes in a different format. If you are confusing two things in your mind, they may take advantage of that as part of the puzzle, and then you have a chance to straighten it out. It's another Hero Collector book. This Nerd Search series, it's really well done. For Trek nerds only, can you spot the crazy mistakes? And there's different kinds of mistakes. Here, for instance, there's a big answer key for each one. I mean, you know, if you just look at this, this is supposed to be the big goodbye, but look at how they're including all of the series to date in here. Yeah, you can look at this and see, get a figure on what's going on here. You're going, what? Nerd alert, there are 5 calamitous continuity errors in this picture, and then they have a super quibble on each one. Can you spot the special talking point? It's fun. It's really fun for a gift item. Again, it's the Star Trek Next Generation Bloopers of the Borg. So thank you, Glenn Dakin, for his cocktails book. We had Glenn on Life Support Live last year. John Ross is the artist, and Alan Craddock did the colors. And of course, Ben Robinson is down as our friend Ben is down as a consultant there at Hero Collector. It'd be a great little gift item late. Try it anyway, wherever you are, UK or USA. You never know. And you know what? If people are up for some lingering gifts dribbling in between the holidays, it'd be perfect. It'd be perfect. It was released a little later than they thought, but hoped for. But it's here now. It's here now. Had a lot of fun with this one. With its predecessors, if you want to see more coming in the series, jump in. There you go. Hey, everybody. That's it for right now. Hang on with us, though. If you're looking to give gifts, please remember our gifty offer. But remember, if you want to jump in, if you want to send somebody something for the portal, you don't have to use the gift offer. You can just plug them in for a regular subscription run as a gift, and that would be great too. I also, of course, and we've got a new one to cheer about. Want to thank all of our Patreons, all of our patrons for jumping in with us. The TTL Club, the TTLers, Diana Hopkins, Robin Wilson, Lawrence Todd, Anne-Marie Siegel, Keith Rombach, Justin Porteous, Nathaniel Robinson, and Blaze K. And, of course, our live wires, Rusty Harrell, Howard Gunn Johnson, Jalen Bullock. This is Jalen Bullock, Robert McLean, Alan Hohensi, J.R. Poole, and Casey Shafsky, and Byron Bailey, who I did not get on this yet, but has joined us as a live wire also. Thank you so much. If you want to help out too here with the live streaming into Trekland, it's just $5 and $10 a month at patreon.com/Trekland Live. There you go. Keep it very simple. I'm working on getting all the live wires, all the original Portal 47 guest night interviews that we're due. It'll be a chunk now. It's been so long. But that's the difference. Everybody gets a shout out. The live wires on the $10 level get access to a lot of behind the scenes interviews from the first 2 or 3 years of Portal 47, which is now in its 7th anniversary, our 7th season. We've had our 6th anniversary. We're now going into year 7. It's kind of amazing. We'd be going into year 3 of the Trekland Treks day tours if not for COVID. So here's hoping we start Trekland trekking to Star Trek location shoots around LA soon. I've had somebody already tell me they were bound and determined to do a day tour for their birthday in June. So Paloma, somewhere out there, we're going to try to make that happen. Meanwhile, things that are plowing right along. Yep, the Trek Files is back. We're almost to the end of season 7, but our penultimate show this week has none other than Mr. Tuvok himself, Tim Russ, talking a very decidedly Vulcan-sounding topic, star chasing, specifically asteroid hunting. Tim is a sidewalk astronomer from way back. You'll hear us talk about that. And he was recently involved with a project. He was asked to help with a project that helped NASA with the mission that was just launched. So that's and true to form though, our format, our topic is a speech Gene gave to the National Space Society in 1989, short speech, talking about the public supporting space travel and space exploration. Who better to talk about it than with our real-life sidewalk astronomer out of Star Trek? Tim, it's all there on the Trek Files, the document and the podcast, or you can get it at podcast.roddenberry.com, or likely wherever you catch your podcasts. So check that out. It just dropped today, as usual. And a little announcement this week. For the holidays, there is no Life Support Live again on Christmas Day. Our normal day is Saturday. We're taking a 2-Saturday holiday break off of the regular show. We'll be back on January 8th at 10 a.m. Saturdays Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. But 2 things in the life support field, in the life support orbit, and you'll know these if you're over at our Facebook page, Life Support Live on Facebook. Saturday, Christmas evening, our moderator, Jared, who may be here with us today, I see him, there you go, boom. He's running a Zoomy chatty thing, which is what we call it when one or both of the doctors can't, Dr. Ali or Dr. Trek, when one of us can't make doing a regular show, a lot of times Jared will step in and moderate a Zoom, just a meetup with a lot of the lifer regulars. That's happening at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, but you just go to the Facebook page, you'll hear all about it. And then Ali and I are doing a watch-along of the motion picture, special time, same time, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. Hopefully a lot of folks are on vacation. They're off work maybe. A little bit between the holiday madness on Wednesday the 29th. We are going to be doing a watch-along, bring your own media, but a watch-along of the motion picture. Ali says he's wanted to do it for ages. And there you go. It's a December anniversary show too. So we're taking a hiatus on the live shows, but there's still Life Support Live happening in the universe until we're back full time on January 8th. Alrighty. Everywhere you're watching us now on these same Trekland channels, you can see Life Support Live too. That is it for now. And remember, it's Larry Nemecek's Trekland where you are right now. Please like and subscribe on the YouTube. Ring the bell. etc., etc. Facebook and also Twitter. And of course, portal47.net. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's your mini-con all year long where no savvy fan has gone before. We deep dive backstage folks, voices, archive documents, mine, in other words, especially, every month. We've been doing it since 2015, way before the Zoom boom of the pandemic. We do it globally. We have aspects for people around the world. And just make sure if you're interested, after you read about it, that you come over and do the holiday offer if you want to jump in on that. But feel free to come in just like always. That is it for now. If you're on YouTube later, we're going away. So I'm going to say, stay healthy. This thing is not over, but we're not helpless. We're not helpless. Do all the things. Masks, shots, boosters, and then be smart about who and where you are, even uncomfortably if that's some of your best friends and family. It's a rough time for that. I realize that. A lot of folks are in the same position. Believe me, we can get through this. Just, you got to look out for you and your loved ones. Stay well and stay woke, and please check your sources. Check the people who are talking to you. If you think they're wackadoodle and not real, chances are they might not be real. Much less the information they're trying to give you or ungive you. I guess what I'm saying, everybody, is, of course, as always, especially right now, trek well, everybody. T Public Store, more gifts.